On a frigid evening, the city's radiance glimmered like scattered pearls across the skyline. High in a splendid penthouse atop a gleaming tower, Ethan Carter, a youthful billionaire, sat at his burnished dining table, staring at an untouched roast while absently twirling ruby wine in his glass. Though he possessed wealth, renown, vehicles, and sway, everything most coveted, he couldn't dispel the profound emptiness that burdened his soul each night, a solitude no extravagance could mute. As he reclined to skim his phone for another flurry of inconsequential business notifications, an unfamiliar call buzzed on his private line, a number known only to his trusted few. Scowling, he answered, hearing a faltering, faint voice implore, "Please help. My rose is fading. Save us. I dialed this. Maybe it's wrong. Don't disconnect." Ethan stiffened, suspecting a jest, but the stark terror and stifled sobs of a young girl pierced through. In the background, weak, uneven breaths of someone struggling for life roused a dormant urge to shield, to act, to save. He leaned in, grasping the phone firmly. "Stay calm, little one. Who are you? What's wrong?" The girl stammered, "I'm Sophie, and Rose is my sister. She can't breathe. I don't know what to do. I called a number from the fridge, thinking it was the clinic. Please, sir, help." Forgetting his opulent meal in the hushed dining room, Ethan sprang up, seized his coat, and spoke with steady warmth. "Fear not, Sophie. I'm coming. Give me your address now." Sobbing softly, she whispered a location in a neglected district Ethan had never seen, far from his lofty haven. Without delay, he rushed to his private elevator, his driver jolted by the abrupt order to depart, the Bentley slicing through streets as Ethan's heart thundered, replaying the child's frantic plea. For the first time, he felt a calling beyond wealth or deals, a duty to preserve fragile hope. At the decaying apartment complex, Ethan bypassed his guards, racing up creaky stairs, guided by faint cries, until he burst through a door barely, clinging to its frame. There, a small blonde girl in worn pajamas, clutching a tattered stuffed bear, held a phone, tears staining her face. Beside her, on a ragged sofa, lay a tinier girl, paler, wheezing faintly, her chest rising unevenly. Sophie's frightened blue eyes met his, and she murmured, "You came. You really came." Ethan knelt, his costly suit brushing the grimy floor, checking the younger girl's pulse with hands used only for contracts and tech, now offering solace. He swiftly phoned his private doctor, demanding urgent aid. Cradling the frail child, he assured Sophie firmly, "Your sister will be fine. I've got her." Sophie gripped his coat like an anchor. Ethan felt a knot in his throat, realizing riches, status, glory. None mattered if he failed this child's trust. Carrying them past stunned neighbors to the waiting car, the once aloof billionaire was now a man, racing time to save two innocent lives. Each pulse stirred something profound, human, within him. Perhaps destiny chose this errant call to grant true purpose. At the hospital, Ethan stayed close, his presence a steady comfort. Sophie's small hand trembled in his as doctors worked swiftly to stabilize Rose, her breaths growing steadier with each passing moment. Ethan's voice softened, recounting tales of courage to distract Sophie, her eyes wide with hope. The sterile halls echoed with urgency, yet Ethan's resolve held firm, a vow to see this through. Hours later, Rose's color returned, her tiny chest rising evenly. Sophie hugged Ethan, whispering gratitude, and he felt a warmth no wealth could buy, a connection forged in crisis, a purpose beyond his glittering world. Days later, Ethan visited the girls in their modest home, bringing gifts, a new stuffed bear for Sophie, a delicate bracelet for Rose. Their smiles lit the dim room, a stark contrast to his polished life. He listened to their stories, their dreams, their fears, feeling a shift within, a call to do more, to be more. This wrong number had rewoven his path, binding him to two souls who needed him. His heart, once cold, now beat with purpose. A vow to never turn away from such calls again. Dear viewers, this is how a solitary billionaire's life transformed through one desperate plea. To see how Ethan and Sophie's bond deepens and Rose's journey unfolds, stay tuned for Chapter 2. Subscribe to Kindness Tales Stories. Your support fuels these heartfelt tales of compassion, destiny, and love.